Hello, and welcome to The Truth Runs Deep. I'm Callie.
And I'm Taryn. I said who I am. I'm Taryn.
It's-
And the reason you have the giggles,
I
and
got
I
a
will say,
text. I
we
was waiting while we started recording. Okay. Uh, yep. I'm Callie. That's Taryn. Welcome to The Truth Runs Deep. We talk about all things law and order, SVU, organized crime, and fic writing. Sorry, y'all. I work at a restaurant, and I work
it's been a
on
weird day.
Valentine's Day. And I asked how
Tomorrow
many
is Valentine's
reservations we
Day.
had today for tomorrow. Because we're recording on the 13th. I have more
It's Valentine's
reservations
Day.
than we had on New Year's Eve, and it's a Tuesday.
Cringe.
So to
It's
put it in
Valentine's
perspective
Day.
for you,
What a better way to be spending
yeah,
Valentine's
happy
Day than
Valentine's
recording
Day,
with my best
Taryn.
friend.
You're my
Yes,
gal.
happy
You're my
Valentine's.
bestie.
Yep,
Okay, to put it in
yep.
perspective for you, I had 77 reservations on New Year's Eve. I just got a text. We have 86
That's
tomorrow.
cringe.
Wait, there's only
What?
203 people. Still, way too goddamn many.
Well,
Rip me.
yeah. This is why, you know,
I
we
wasn't
do have something to
expecting
look forward
that
to. Well, if after
at
Tuesday
all.
is Wednesday, then after Wednesday is Thursday, then Thursday comes, and then we
I
can
need it to be Thursday.
we do.
I really do.
Which brings us to our next segment. I think we're done rambling. Oh, I don't have the article up. That's a problem. Oh, I do have the
Sorry.
picture up. Okay, when I did pull up the picture in another so I can actually show the picture. So now we're not bootlegging it like strange people who know we've been doing this whole time. Uh, so do you want to talk about the pictures or the article?
Oh,
Now that I can like show the pictures
uh,
on Zoom, because now
picture articles first because
okay, there's
nobody
lots of
knew
talk
that it
about
came
the
out.
article.
So I like randomly
Okay,
Googled it. So
yeah, yeah.
it
And
started
so we were
with there
talking
was a
about it.
new promo
Yeah, which I have
that
not seen
they've
yet because I don't
literally
watch
only
TV.
shown once
I have not seen it yet because I
and
don't watch
have
any
not
TV.
shown
But
since.
Callie saw it.
So
I didn't see it.
I saw it and then immediately texted Tara and she's like, "Did you record it?" And I'm like, "No, I was too busy scrambling
Didn't record.
because ah." So it basically starts with Elliot saying Jet is kidnapped. I'm like, okay, good. Somebody, at least somebody notices.
I know, like
I mean, I'm hoping it's Ayana first, but if
speaking of,
it's
I
just
mean, it would
literally
make the
Elliot
most sense because the end of
saying
the
in
scene is that
general,
her
then
found on the ground.
fine.
It would make the most sense, but
Um, and then there's a from I don't remember all of it because I was not paying attention.
you
To
texted it
anything
to me in a list.
unless it
There's
involved
nothing.
Jet.
Yeah, I would care about
There was a
Jet.
shot of Murphy in
Huh?
the warehouse when he's going to talk to
Yes.
like he's in a warehouse and I think that's when like Ayana goes to
Mm-hmm.
talk to him. They also showed
Mm-hmm.
a clip of Jet in, she's awake, she knows she's in trunk, and she's trying to feel around like the roof of the car, see if there's a way she can open it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sneaking suspicion she probably will. Now the question is, are we going to see Ainsley doing the stunt where she rolls herself out of a trunk? Because I will full on accept that because
Yeah,
that would be badass.
it would be,
Also,
and like,
considering
it's a
we've
probable
seen
thing that can happen
we've seen
because
her
like trunks have
roll
like a handle on the inside.
we've seen her roll before because in the scene where her and Malachi were had to get into that building
Oh yeah, but yeah, I remember that.
with
Like
the
that was almost a year ago. That was a
generator
year
and
ago,
Malachi
like March like 2nd, I think.
and he and she like rolled over. Ouch!
Mm,
I'm like, okay, so we know Ainsley
yeah.
can do scenes like that. And
Jumps.
then it ends with the scene at the promo of Seamus bringing Shaq to this hole in the ground, but this time, it's a different line because in the original promo she says his name. This time, she turns right around and looks at him and says, "Don't do this."
They were like,
Well,
So we've had this on a chokehold. Y'all understand? So
What's
as soon
gonna
as the episode
happen
ended,
to our
I guess
baby?
y'all have heard
I'm
from us since
scared.
then. But yeah, y'all have heard from us since then. But like you started a fic and have not put it down. So
Yeah.
we're supposed to be running Valentine's fics, and we're not even done.
We literally have not done anything else.
You have like a Valentine's Day trilogy we're trying to do. Not
Into this
finished.
Jelkai jet hole,
Real deep.
and we probably won't get out.
Yeah. Until
We do know the next episode is like the end of this arc because next they're doing like going after this Elliot's going after this biker gang or whatever.
Yeah, it's a different storyline.
They're like, okay, we gave you 2 episodes with Ainsley and Danielle focus, now we're going back to Elliot. No, that's not enough. I don't care. I don't care about this stupid ass biker gang. I mean, I
literally have the best.
don't know if I
have
will
a
or not,
great
but
plot.
literally, if we're going from Jed got kidnapped,
we gotta
getting put in a
process
drunk,
this.
like
Then almost put
gotten
in a
to her
hole.
back, almost possibly being put in a hole. We have the sneaking suspicion that she's going to be put in a hole.
We wrote it in our fic and it's real messed up. But you'll have read that because it's not out yet. It'll be out probably Thursday.
Like,
night.
it makes me wonder what's gonna happen the episode after. Like, you can't just tell me they all are totally fine.
It's good. I mean, they did that last time with Jet when she used her weapon for the first time. They were just like, This is a little bit bigger than that. They can't just be like,
I mean, unless they do a time jump again, which would make sense. But like if we literally just go like back to it, then I'm going to be like BS because
I'll write it myself.
Jet obviously will probably need therapy. Although I have a feeling she's probably not going to want therapy.
He played around with this one writing.
Like, you can't just leave like this. Yeah. So we also found out that next week,
I'll link the article that we're talking about in the description so people can read it if they want. But
yeah, next biker gang, Elliot's going after it.
Really.
Also, again, poor choice because the only person who
can ride a motorcycle is
so right now the only person on the squad that we know that rides a motorcycle is Jet.
Yeah.
But she literally just had an operation
probably
and it ended her with being kidnapped.
Not mentally
so they probably wouldn't in the field
right back to
after that again. For the operation.
Yeah, right back to work.
Although I cannot picture Elliot on a motorcycle.
Somebody made it as a joke one time. I think it was in a fic or something. Somebody made it as a joke and it was funny, but yeah. If you guys want to read this article, I'll put it in the description. But it's a good one where Ansel talks about the episode.
I was trying to find the promo again.
You can't find the updated one. But I have found the old one.
I couldn't find the updated promo. But
I looked on YouTube
it led me to an interview that Ainsley did.
Yeah, this
and
is
I was like, I knew it. I figured she was gonna have to do she was gonna do an interview. I just was like, why have I not seen one? Well, she did. And it was funny. And really good. She's like us. She literally stayed up at 4 a.m. reading her script alone in her room and was like, are you guys, she's literally talking to herself, are you guys seeing this?
It's really hard to use our friendship.
4 a.m.
This is our friendship. This is our friendship at 4 a.m. The longest writing stuff we pulled.
Like, I have the script.
We pulled at 5:30 in the morning. For it. That's the longest we wrote from like end of we wrote from like 8 to like 5:30 in the morning one time, and that was crazy.
The next day, they texted their mom that they were going to get kidnapped professionally, so that the mom wouldn't totally freak out. Then that would she would know it was just for Ainsley's job. She also explained how she got the pic in the trunk so she could send it to her mom to be reassured. Her mom wasn't fully thrilled with the episode. I mean, fair, even if it's acting, if I saw my daughter playing a character who got thrown to the ground and then
And
stuffed in a trunk, I'd probably be pretty scared too.
yeah,
Ainsley said she loved doing the combat work.
I gotta stop.
Uh, Next episode was her very first night
Thank you.
and it was freezing.
Where
But,
the fuck my
she's got the
picture?
fur coat on, so maybe she'll be okay. Um,
Yeah, it's
she
probably
also
cold like
explained how
that.
next episode we're gonna get
Yep.
in a deeper well.
I gotta
Yeah, so
pull it up.
Taryn's holding up the pic of Ainsley in the trunk with a thumbs up and a smile on her face. So they said that next week Jet is going to get into deeper, like we're going to see a deeper well of Jet's emotions, which I'm
Hmm.
so excited for
Yeah.
because a lot of the
And I
like
felt we
more
wrote it well, which is weird.
negative emotions
Hmm.
we write for Jet, like we have to guess on how far it would go.
Yeah.
We do know
You've done
now
it pretty
she
good,
gets
I think.
scared. We got the whimpers. We've taken that and ran
Yeah.
basically.
Our fic is
Now
good
we
though.
know
Maybe.
she
Might go
gets
deeper
scared
too.
because they came out with promo photos today, and I literally had to
Which I
go
can
do
show
something
you.
productive. And I said, "Nope,
Hold on.
pictures
I
first."
gotta pull that up. Hold on.
Um, we've already written
No, see that?
something.
See?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's our baby,
Yeah.
scared, trying to get Seamus to stop whatever he's doing.
Yeah, there's the one she's in two of them. Not this one. She's in this one too.
And then it's the other one. So you can't really tell, but we know from the promo photos
Oh,
and the promos that
there
Seamus
we
has a
go.
gun.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
Seamus is holding a gun
It
and
might be to her
telling her
back.
to
I can't
walk.
we can't tell right here.
And I can't take
Yeah.
I can't.
Is my screen sharing?
Uh,
Let's type it in. Yep. So
and then we already wrote something that the pictures predicted,
oh yeah.
which
Wait.
scares me.
Yeah, we got too good at this, which is a little concerning.
Wait, do you not know what I'm talking about?
I mean I probably do.
The picture of them all in the woods?
Oh yeah, we did. Oh, we did. Except one person
Yeah.
is missing from us. I mean, the way we wrote it was a little. The way we somebody is missing from the way we wrote it. Somebody is
What is
missing from that
missing?
scene. But
Yeah. I mean, so
the way
obviously
we wrote the
so
scene,
obviously we're gonna give like this is a spoiler, but also not full spoiler of our fic. So obviously, knowing what we know from the episodes, if we decided to write a fic, obviously the task force is gonna go find Jet.
yeah.
Well, Taryn, pull up the pictures again.
Okay, hold on. I pull up the pictures again. Do 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 do. Not this one.
So
No, that's it.
wait, yeah,
This
that
one.
one. So we wrote that the squad goes basically drives to the woods to go find her. And then there's a promo photo of the task force in the woods with their
Yeah.
flashlights trying to find her.
We
So
got
we're
too good at this,
already
but it's weird.
predicting things. How much more are we going to predict is the question.
Yeah, I'm concerned how
How
accurate, how
much
good
more
we
do
thought it
I
was.
want them to predict? How bad is it going to be? That's where we're at.
Yeah, yeah. We'll figure it out. Who knows? Who knows how right we are? We'll
It's
find out
also,
later
I'm just
on.
very, like, we wrote, like certain things of, like, how the task force is obviously is going to react to Jet
Mm-hmm.
being taken.
I think we
But I'm
did pretty
very
good.
interested canonically how everybody's going to react. We obviously know that Ayana cries, but I'm very
Mm-hmm.
curious how the rest of the guys are gonna act because
You played around with
um
it. Well,
they
we could
played around
figure
with it.
out anyway.
Elliot, out of all of them, has known Jet the longest because he's the reason that Jet became
Yeah.
part of organized crime.
That story's weird. I don't understand why they
I don't get it either, but so it's either
they were
gonna
just like,
be
we gotta make this make sense. Here you go, throws that in there like it makes sense.
like for once his anger might actually be justified.
Yeah, which is we tried
And
to
for
do
once, I'm
that when we wrote
actually
this.
okay with that because
Yeah.
it's Jet.
Yeah, when we started writing
Um,
it, we
the
tried our
new
best to be
guys,
like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've tried to be
honestly.
okay.
We tried,
The new
okay? I
guys,
didn't say we were good ponies.
the new guys, Whelan and Reyes have known her for a few months now,
Hmm.
and we've
Since roughly
seen
September, we can't
scenes.
really tell because, there's no title card.
We've seen scenes where both of the guys have gotten closer, had deeper, in-depth conversations with Jet.
Hmm.
Um, Reyes more so like on a professional side, Whelan more on a personal side. Reyes with trying to relate to her about going undercover. Whelan being the only person who knows about the fact that she's been married before and that her parents no
Hmm.
longer talk to her. So it would be
Yeah.
interesting to see how they really react. And then we got Ayana, who is the only, I don't know, this might be a part of it, this might not, but Ayana is the only other, Jet is the only other woman in Jet's force besides Ayana.
Yeah.
Um, Danielle has directly said that Jet is like a little sister to Ayana.
Hmm.
So now she's kidnapped, like,
Hmm.
yeah. Also, gonna have a feeling Ayana's gonna feel pretty guilty after
Yeah.
taking the
We have to
photos,
play with that. Yeah.
thinking
Especially if they
that
go to trial with this. If they go to trial with this.
Jet's
We don't
falling
really know
for
for sure.
him when she wasn't. And then now it's like you just been kidnapped by the guy I thought you were falling for, and he's falling for you, and
We waited
we have so
hard.
many theories running in our head
What we
where we
wrote
have
about
not
it, I
put
think,
this together.
yeah, what we wrote is genius. But has it happened? Will it happen? I hope not. You can only say, I hope not.
If it
We
does,
hope
you're
to
going to like. If it does,
hear from us
holy
immediately.
crap! You
If
can
it does
pay us because
happen,
we wrote it first. But
we did
also,
they own the
the
characters,
only
but it
reason
doesn't
it
matter.
ever came into fruition is because my dad planted this idea in my head.
Yeah. Y'all will probably
He
read this
said,
fic Thursday night. We'll probably like close the gap and then post the first chapter because the only thing missing
yeah,
is like how did they find Jet is the only thing we don't have besides the part we made up with our creative liberty. I mean,
yeah, we
technically,
can't
we
tell you
could
until
post
we
the
actually
liberty.
find out.
Technically, that part for the creative liberty part that we wrote doesn't necessarily need that part, but we'll figure it out. We'll talk
So,
about
like,
it,
the
figure it
only
out. You
other
all
thing
see.
that,
That's
I
what's
was gonna say,
missing
there's
is that
another,
first part. Is how they got how did they I mean really that
yeah,
the
so my
like
dad was like,
you had to make up the conversations you had with Seamus and ours is pretty good. You had to make it
yeah.
up, but
So my dad,
for
like,
the
put this
little that we
thing in
know
my head.
about Seamus,
What if this happens to Jet, and then because that happens, such and such happens, and I had to stop, and I was
mm,
like, no, but also that's
yeah,
genius.
it's a real bad pony.
It's so bad, but we're so good at
Yeah,
it.
we got too good.
And it would give
Like
Ainsley like it would be Emmy level Ainsley acting.
yeah, we talk yeah.
100%.
If y'all don't understand, we're on a mission.
Our mission: give Ainsley and Danielle an Emmy now.
Yeah,
Do
if
it.
y'all haven't go listen to the
Go.
episode of the podcast, you should. That one took us like 2 hours and 15 minutes. If Ainsley listen to it, you can too. Just saying.
Okay. Do we have any?
I think
Yeah,
that
Ainsley again. Listen to our
that was literally
podcast.
all that was all that's literally the first like 20 minutes was the introduction of that. We talked about the pictures, we talked about the promo, we talked about writing. I think that's it for now.
Okay, we can move to the other show.
Because if y'all don't, also in case you guys haven't listened to our episode, we split them. We did organized crime separate, and it literally was as long as a whole episode together.
And
So
we have not had time to talk about the mothership and SVU since.
no, we told a story.
So,
We were busy last week, and we did like a quick episode, which is a great one. Go listen to. We told a little story. Go listen to it.
all right.
Yeah.
So we have not watched these episodes since. So bear with us.
That was like 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago now.
Yep, it's been a
Return.
while.
Yep.
All right.
We talked about those
So,
tweets. We're on the episode. Nothing much. Here we go.
Law and Order. Yeah, all those tweets were from the organized crime thing.
Yeah, we took care of that already before.
Okay. Law and Order.
Okay.
The episode is called Mammon.
Trying to figure
I
out
have
why
no idea what the heck that is. Do you?
Let's find out. No, I'm about to find out though. Oh, it says wealth regarded as an evil influence or false object of worship and devotion.
Yeah, that
Makes sense then.
fits the episode.
Anyway, we had no idea what that word meant until right now. Continuing.
Oh yeah, so it
So
starts with a
yeah.
Hudson. I'm a Hudson student.
I mean,
She's
nothing goes right at Hudson. You shouldn't be going there. But anyway.
trying to like visit somebody at a house, and then she turns around, sees somebody, and then is shot point blank twice in the chest.
Yep.
So again, don't go to Hudson if you're in the Law and Order universe.
No, nothing ever goes right. Since the
Bad
first
things
episode,
happen
I
to
think
you.
it's something at Hudson. I think the first episode was something at Hudson for SVU. And then, so literally, it's been bad for 25 years almost. Don't go there,
Yeah.
okay?
No Hudson. Bad Hudson. Bad. Um, then they do some more investigating to try to find out who was the last person with Emily, the girl that was killed. They find this guy, and then we get yet another chase scene. Because
Literally every
apparently they just
episode.
do that every single episode now. It's the running joke.
Literally, they're
Pun intended.
always running. Always running.
They're always running. We find out that Shaw has tattoos. Not that that's important. I just thought it was cool. I mean, like, I'm not the biggest fan of tattoos, but on the COD it works.
Agreed.
And that's all I'm gonna say. That you probably understand about that. You probably understand what I'm getting at that. Anyway, moving on. So they had the guy that they were tracing.
Sorry, I was
His
watching
name is
something.
Bobby. What?
Oh, I was scrolling YouTube. Something was making me laugh. I'll send it to you. Go watch it later. Okay.
Send it to
Go
me
watch this
now.
later. No, go
Send
watch it
it.
later. Okay, it'll make you laugh. Promise, because it made me
Okay.
laugh, but I didn't have the audio on.
So Bobby Gorman, the guy that they were chasing, was sending Emily threatening messages. Oh my god!
I saw the first 30 seconds, and I was like, no audio, and I was like, go watch that later. Don't watch that now. Go watch. No, don't watch it now. You don't have time. We don't have time. We're on the Zoom is ending in 8 minutes
What?
for right now.
I'm
Don't
curious.
go watch that now.
Oh my god!
Oh man, that made me laugh. I have to go watch the whole thing later.
Oh my gosh.
Never
Okay.
mind.
Anyway,
Sorry, y'all. I
the
had to
guy
giggle.
was
It was funny.
sending threatening messages to Emily. You're cheating on me, etc., etc. We also then find out that Emily was a member at the First Harmony Presbyterian Church.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really cool name for a church, but also a very like obvious name for a church. So I'm only saying this because it is going to be important to the plot later. It is a black church.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you haven't like watched the promo of the episode, that's actually a very important detail.
That's literally the entire thing, that it's a black
very
church.
Important. Yeah.
We find out that Cosgrove was an altar boy, which honestly, I can see it makes sense.
I can see it. It makes sense.
At one point, they're talking to the pastor, and the pastor's telling them like how much like the people donate. They think they're doing it for prosperity, and then as they leave, Cosgrove literally goes, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Which is, I love the one-liners, and these are so funny.
Yeah, some of them are so funny.
And Shaw says, tell me how you really feel. And then the two guys get into this discussion of like whether or not like donating a whole ton of money to the church is like considered religion or what.
Yeah,
And Shaw says religion is whatever works for you. Um, the church runs on like the gospel of prosperity, and
yeah,
I think you should
prosperity
explain what that
gospel.
is before I read the next one.
Prosperity gospel is is the belief, which is a heresy. You should not be doing the prosperity gospel because it's literally the opposite of biblical. But it is the belief that if you give enough money to your church and or pastor or anybody who's like your spiritual leader in a way, that if you do it enough, God will bless you. And if you don't do it, God doesn't bless you, which is a heresy. So yeah, that's the short version of a lot of mega churches do this, and I could go down a spiral about this because I talk about this a lot. But yeah, not a good thing. Don't do it. Yeah.
And so the next line
So
makes more sense now. It says Shaw says prosperity means more when you grow up poor and blind. I was like, ooh.
mm,
Did we just get some background info there? Also, it's a powerful line, just in general.
mhm,
Um, so then they find out this guy who was at the church that possibly killed Emily, and they go to arrest him. His name is Reuben Grandy. Um, cause they tracked a car that was Emily's. His name like that had been in the vicinity when Emily got murdered. They
mhm,
tracked the car to his name and they went to arrest him. And he immediately puts his hand up and he's like, "Officer, yes, I'll go with you, but I need to grab my crutches." And Cosgrove like pulls the blanket off of him, and we see that his leg is broken.
and not
So
killed.
obviously he's not the one driving the car.
Mhm,
Obviously he didn't do this because he can't walk. And the guys are
mhm,
like, "Okay, what? Your car was found in a murder scene," and he's basically like, he says, "I sold my car." And he sold it to Reverend Sherman, the vice pastor of the church.
mhm,
And so they have to go talk to him. Um, and it's like, so we find out that apparently the pastor was a criminal before who
yeah.
turned to God in prison. And the guys are like, "Nope, that's not enough. You need to explain why you were there and what happened." Um,
Yeah.
and he eventually chooses to go with him. Um, but
So when they show up at the church, or is this another time?
I don't know.
No, this is later. Hold
They
on, that
have
was later. What I said was later.
to talk to that. And there's this point where Sherman just ignores Cosgrove and looks directly at Shaw and says, "You got to choose what side you are on."
Hmm.
And he means that in regards to, are you going to be on the cop side or the black
Yeah,
people?
that's what he literally is really saying instead of more religion per se.
Yeah, and Shaw comes back with a really good line. I loved this line. He says,
Mm,
"I've already decided, brother. I'm on God's side." I was like, yes,
what a
yes,
good one.
Shaw. Good. Um, and then we get a no lamb scene that I had
Yeah.
forgotten about until I started reading this, and
Oh
it was
yeah.
like,
You
so
gotta
they're
write some more
literally
hymns
talking
soon. It's
about
been a
like
hot
how they
minute.
have to,
The poem has been untouched for.
um, they're talking before the case. It was after arraignment, I think, actually. They were talking of like how they're gonna figure out this, because we know he murdered her, but we don't have motive. Um,
Hmm.
and Sam says the motive is irrelevant. My mentor taught me that. And then Nolan replies, "Yes, he did." And
Yeah,
then Sam smiles at him, and it is
I'm
so
real.
obvious the kind of
Yeah, you gotta
smile
write
he's
some more of
giving
them
him.
soon.
I'm like, mm.
I don't think we've written them
Also the fact
standalone. We've written them in the
also the
Resistance,
fact
but
that
y'all haven't seen it.
Sam's mentor is Nolan, and Nolan knows that.
Yeah, this is precious.
Yay.
We haven't written them standalone yet. We've written them in the Resistance in both parts, but
Yeah.
not alone yet. Ooh, we should have put them in the Valentine's Day list, but we literally have too many. It was gonna take us forever to do that.
We can.
We can add them to our Valentine's Day list. We're really like making like a trilogy without a trilogy no
Oh,
one else for. Save that for later, right? What you thinking? Anyway,
I just
I'll
got an
keep
idea. Hold
talking.
on, I'm gonna touch it too.
Okay. Okay. Hey, while we're remembering things, I kind of don't. Then yeah, they're real cute. We love them, man. I always mess with my mom when I get home because she can remember no one's name for anything. So then she finally remembers now. Because I show up every Thursday being like, "What's his name?" Then Zoom is about to end, so if you don't finish your thought, this will be the end. So and I gotta make another one. You know, it'll be horrendous when I try to edit it because we stopped recording like 5 times. Yeah, you're thinking about our thing.
All right, send. Okay, good. It's there.
Okay.
Um,
So
the end kind of might be jumbled, but I feel like I got the point
it makes
across.
sense. It makes sense. We'll get to work eventually.
Okay.
Person chokehold on this.
Yep. Uh, then the
Okay,
next
what
scene
kind of
after they like
chokehold
have
on
that
this?
conversation.
Okay, continuing from where we were. We took a look. I was watching the video and it made me laugh, and then and then I sent you the video I was watching. It made me laugh, and there was like,
Okay. The next scene that we get was Cosgrove and Shaw going to the
yeah,
church, and they see a car in the parking lot, and Cosgrove says, "Does your pastor drive a Bentley?" And Shaw says, "I don't go to church enough to know." Um, because apparently they're slowly figuring out the money that the pastor says is going to the church ain't going to the
yeah,
church
yeah, real
because
bad.
no pastor drives a Bentley.
Yeah, if you are,
But
there's
we
some
then find
questions.
out that Pastor Mike wanted the Reverend to kill Emily because Emily wanted her brother's donation money back.
Yeah,
We find out the pastor doesn't pay taxes.
tax evasion. There's some kind of weird
Um,
thing where like certain you get tax exempt. There's like a qualification, certain qualifications for a church to get tax exemption, but it's very specific. I forgot what the reasons are, but there is you can get out of it, but like I think not as an individual, but I think churches as a whole can get out of taxes. A certain kind of tax.
oh, yeah. So then we have Nolan go down to talk to um Emily's brother, Lonnie, and we find out that Lonnie paid the church $40,000
Yeah, which is a
in
lot. That's like a whole more than
donations.
like not to be $40,000 in that amount of time is like you never keep a paycheck for yourself.
Yeah. And
To
it's
get a 40,000
because Pastor Mike feels, I mean, Lonnie feels like he owes Pastor Mike because Mike got Lonnie off of heroin.
yeah,
Um, then we get the conversation of how Nolan and Sam want Nolan and Sam want are talking to Jack and they want to take Mike down for murder. And Jack
yeah.
is like, you know,
Taking down the church
you
is a
can't.
real bad thing. He's like, don't try to take down the church.
Yeah, it's like if you try to take down that church, you won't have a prayer.
Yeah, that's what the line is
Um,
from the promo from last week.
I don't remember what the actual line was. This is just the
That
one that
was
I
the one.
remember.
That's the one.
No, they changed it in the episode. I just don't remember what it
Oh,
was.
oh, I don't remember
Um,
either. This was like 10 days ago.
and Nolan says if we don't at least try to hold someone like that accountable, we're in the wrong line of work. Basically,
Mm.
even if he's a pastor and a prolific one at that. If we're not holding him accountable, then who are we going to hold accountable?
No one's above the law.
Exactly. And then I wasn't expecting them to do this, but
Yeah.
Shaw and Cosgrove arrested the pastor during the service.
Yeah.
Shaw actually does it.
Yeah.
And Mike is like, I would
He said
rethink
something like
this.
he's like righteousness and justice will prevail or something like that. So something like that first.
And
And then
Shaw says, justice waits for no man, and then arrests
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Um, and then they have to have Pastor Sherman testify, Reverend Sherman testify, and he lies on the stand that
yeah.
basically he was told to go murder Emily, and that the money in the church wasn't anything bad. Um, Nolan and McCoy disagree on how to handle this. Nolan thinks he needs to be upfront about what their church is doing, and McCoy thinks he just needs to focus on
Mm-hmm.
the murder case at hand. And Nolan's like, I can't get the murder case without showing that the money is in
Yeah, the
being
money was the
used for the
motive
right
for the
thing in
murder.
the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, and then they have like this hearing, um,
Mm-hmm.
because like there's a church privilege in the law,
Yeah.
and
Well,
they have this
religion
hearing
has a,
in
religion
court.
itself has a preference. It
Yeah,
only takes so many things.
that
The requirements to be a church aren't very difficult. Actually, a religion, organized religion, you get tax exempt. Sorry, we did this whole assignment in class one time where we looked into it. It's like a list of things that qualify you as a church, and it's very interesting.
yeah. So there's this hearing,
I'll try to find it and show you one
that
day.
Nolan basically explains why, um, and this doesn't fall under that, and the judge agrees.
Mm-hmm.
And now the church is being looked into for fraud, and they have to explain where all the money is going.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have, and so they have this gentleman testify. Um, he didn't want to testify at first. Um, but then now that the church is being looked into fraud, he basically has to testify. Um, Wave and Nolan basically tries to explain that the money, that's not religion, that's fraud. And the guy is like, why are you destroying my church? And again, we
You did
said
that on your
clergy
own.
privilege isn't applying here. Um, so now they have basically all that groundwork, and they need Lonnie to testify. Um, Nolan goes to like talk to him again at night to make sure he's okay for trial. Um, he doesn't answer, so Nolan opens the door and sees him on the ground because he overdosed. And Nolan tries to do CPR and calls 911, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah,
I give this a 3. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad.
yeah, yeah.
I have no idea what's happening next week. Oh wait, yes I do. Um,
It's don't remember. It is
a cop
called Heroes. Yes, the
shoots
cop. Question mark. We don't know. Hold on. We'll watch it real quick. Oh, watch it
a
real
cop
quick.
shoots
That's it's questionable on that. Somebody gets shot, and there's this cop. The woman gets shot, and the like police officer seems real suspicious. He's acting all weird, and when like that's basically he's acting all weird, and they don't know if he did it or not. I think he did, but we can't clarify that until we watch the episode Thursday, which is in 3 days. So that is that one. SVU. SVU's is 2413, which is called Intersection. And it's I like this one, but we'll talk about it when we get there. It's something cool that they showed. They showed the behind the scene footage of that first scene where they were in the car. I think I sent it to you. Wolf Entertainment did where that car is a green screen. That's pretty. That was a pretty cool
Yep.
thing to see. With the car is a green screen, but
Okay, so the Law and Order thing, like the cop either sees a shooting or he shoots somebody and he just won't explain what he saw. And it's like, we need you to. And he's like, nope.
well, no, we'll find out.
Okay, next SVU, the
SVU
episode
is
is called
intersection.
Intersection. And we start with this young couple. They're out like
In the
by the pier
park,
or whatever. They're
reappear.
talking. Um, and then
Having a
the
romantic
guy
conversation,
proposes
and
to the girl,
yeah,
and
it's
it's
real
all
cute. It's real
happy
sweet.
and
Oh, great time. But
yay.
you know, it's Law and Order, so it
And
doesn't
then
stay
they
that
go
way
in
for that
their
long.
car
Yeah, it literally is just
and
real
they're
quick and
talking and they're
sweet.
happy. And then it gets real quick because then they get hit from the side. Um, and then we see an ambulance um
Yeah,
come.
it just happens to be there. And you're just like,
And
they're hit by a drunk
so the
driver.
fiance is like,
That's kind of important. They were hit
yeah,
by a drunk driver.
yeah. So the fiance like pulls, like calls the guy over to do it. The ambulance driver pulls the girl out of the car, and the guy's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Be careful! What are you doing?" Um, and we see the ambulance driver carry the girl over to his ambulance, walks past the drunk driver who's like, "Hey, help me! My foot is stuck. My toe is stuck. Help me!"
Mm.
Nothing. Um, then we have the fiance who pulls himself out of the car and pulls himself over to the ambulance. When he stands up, he sees the ambulance driver raping his fiance.
Yep.
That hurt.
Yeah,
Like they
it's a
full on
little.
visibly showed it happening
Yeah, like
too,
yeah.
which was,
It's like a small window through the ambulance. You see the guy's perspective into the window. You're like,
and the
and
guy
then it's
is
like,
like screaming.
yeah, he's trying to
Like
tell him to
he
stop,
feels
but
so
like he's
bad for his
being
fiance and
clearly
he
annoying.
like falls to the ground.
Yeah, and then it cuts to
And
the
then we
intro.
transition to Muncie and Velasco.
Uh-huh.
Velasco's trying to get a snack from the vending machine and he gets mad and he's like banging on it. And Muncie walks over
And
and
like
is like,
always,
that thing just ate your girlfriend? And then Velasco says, no, I don't have a girlfriend. Okay. So two things. A, we know he's still canonically single. B,
mm-hmm.
that leaves room open still for
Our little.
our
I
ship,
mean,
our little
if you
ship.
read the, I mean, if y'all have read the Resistance,
It's
y'all
so
know what we're talking about.
plausible. They
Like,
could do it.
people
It's
like it.
plausible.
That storyline in the Resistance, we haven't talked about it yet. We
Yeah.
haven't done a True Speaks in a while. But people like that storyline a lot. They're like, what is going to happen? I'm like, we know, we
Yeah.
haven't
They're like,
finished
what are
writing
you
it.
doing? It's happening.
I mean,
Tell you what
literally,
happened.
it's not that
Sorry,
we
y'all. The
gotta like
resistance
literally
will
if we're gonna
come.
do
It's just we
we're
fell
sorry.
into a full on jet hole.
Yeah. But like this is after this we
Wow,
have a
I just
lot of
realized what
space
I
for the
said.
original pieces.
Taryn,
We
did
gotta
you
like
just hear what I said?
no.
I said we
It's
fell
fine.
into a full on jet hole. Thursday, jet might actually
Oh
end up in a hole.
oh oh yeah, you're right. You get your cool up. Hopefully you'll have your present by
Oh,
then. I sent
lovely.
Callie a present. If you have your present by Thursday, which I
I'm
hope
really
you do,
hoping I
it's
do.
scheduled to be Wednesday. It's scheduled for Wednesday. You can only hope.
Okay.
The mail
And
system
then
can only do
Velasco,
that.
yeah, I want my present. I want it so bad. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I sent Callie
Um,
sent me a present a couple months
Velasco
ago and
says,
I
no,
showed
I
it.
don't
So
have a
I sent you
girlfriend. It ate my $2.
$2.
Um, and Muncie like gets down on the ground and reaches in and grabs a
The
snack, the
cashews.
cashews for him. He's like, here you go. And Velasco's
He looks
like, don't let the
confused.
captain see you doing that.
Oh yeah.
And Muncie's like, who do you think taught me that?
Yeah, I
Which
love
is
that scene. It's
funny.
like for comedic reasons, that scene is so funny. The first time Willie was just like, "Here you go." It's just like the cashews
And then we get this scene of Velasco checking in on Muncie because after
after
Duarte
Duarte.
funeral
Yeah,
and
they
everything.
didn't show that.
Um,
They should have not shown it. They should have made it a bit more
and she was like, basically, she was
important.
fine at the funeral,
Yeah.
and at one point she looks at him and she's like, "Do you want me to cry, Velasco?" And he says,
Mhm.
"No, but if you do, it's okay." And I was like, "Oh, he's trying."
Yeah.
And she literally looks
Mhm.
right at him with like a biggest like smile on her face. She's like, "Do you want to hold me?" And she has like a
They're so
smile that forms on her face.
they're
She's like,
they're so funny.
"I'm fine. Everything's fine."
Yeah, it's
But
not fine.
Molly put
It's
on Twitter during the episode and she says, "Muncie isn't very good at showing her feelings, but she did learn from the queen how to sneak some cashews."
yeah.
Um,
We'll find out
and then the
how much
conversation
it handles
continues.
him. Hmm.
And Velasco says, "You're a walking red flag." And then Muncie shoots back with one of the best one-liners. She
They're
says,
so
"And
funny.
you're a bunch of red flags sewed up as a person." Was like, oh.
They have that such
But
a
the thing is,
silly
neither of
sibling
them are
energy.
actually like red
No,
flags. It's
they're
just that
just
they're having an argument at this point.
they're literally siblings, and it's hilarious how much they're more like siblings.
Yeah,
They're, they're
that's so
so
much
funny.
true. Okay,
They're sibling
then
energy,
we
annoying
do
sibling
get
energy.
confirmation that Bruno has been brought up from Manhattan to, I mean, the Bronx to Manhattan, which also makes me wonder, so what the heck is happening in the Bronx? Because now they got one detective?
No, they hired more. They hired more.
Oh, all
At the
right.
end, they
I
were
think
like,
Churlish is the one who's like whipping
they
them
hired
into
a
shape.
whole squad. They hired a whole squad.
Okay, never mind.
They're fun,
Anyway, so
I
Bruno's
guess.
here now. Um,
I like
and Finn
Bruno.
is like, "Oh great, another stray puppy," and Olivia's like, "You no."
It's the other way around.
Olivia
I
says
think.
another stray puppy, and then Finn is like, "You got one too."
Yeah.
And it's Muncie, and then so
Yeah.
Bruno tries to sit at a desk, and I love that Muncie is the one who says this because she's been there for the shortest amount of time, and she already knows. She looks right at him, and she says, "I wouldn't sit there."
Yeah,
So
it's
the
been
only
untouched
desk
for like a month. And
still
like
open at SBU
it's wrong.
was Rollins's. So
It's been
Bruno
sitting
is
like
about to
that
sit at
for like a
Rollins'
month,
desk.
6 weeks almost.
Yeah. Um, and then the camera and then with transition to Olivia walking out of her office,
Mm.
and she stops and she sees Bruno at Rollins' desk, and the look on her face, it's
Yeah, it kind of set back in again, you
like
know? Like,
Olivia's classic "excuse me"
yeah.
look. And she
Yeah.
looks right at him. She's like, "If you want to
Mm.
sit there, you have to earn it." I was like,
It's like, ooh.
"Oh."
Mhm.
Bruno like gets right up, and I was like, "Yeah, nobody's sitting around
He
with
gets
his
the
desk."
point. He gets the point after.
He gets it. We got it. We're good. Okay. Then we got transition to they get the information about the
Go to
case
the
and the ambulance
hospital.
and the rape. Um, Olivia and Bruno go. And Olivia looks at Bruno and she's like, "Do you want to divide and conquer? Or do you want me to hold your hand?" I was like,
Mm. It's so
um,
funny.
they divide and conquer. So, um, Olivia goes to talk to Emma, the woman who was raped, and she like tries to
Yeah.
explain everything that happened. She doesn't remember much. She wants to make sure her fiance is okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
her brain is gone. Or at
It's
least they're
really
hoping
funny.
that she still has her ring. Um,
It's
and she
really
looks
upsetting.
right at
Sorry.
Olivia and she says, "This was supposed to be the happiest night of my life." And I was like, "Oh, that hurt." And Olivia says, "You'll
Yeah.
have many more." Um, then we get Bruno talking to the fiance, and the fiance is just he's angry, he's done. He's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what they talked about. I can't remember. I think
All
they
right, I
just kind of
gotta
did a little.
like hurry up because I gotta fix my nail and get my laundry. So we gotta rush.
Okay, keep going. We are at whatever conversation I
Um,
honestly don't remember.
yeah. So then after Bruno talks to the
The,
fiance, we
the,
transition to
the next day, roughly the next day.
and
And they
then
talked
Velasco and
to
Nancy go to talk to the drunk driver's dad
the,
who was trying to sue from the accident
yeah,
because
we're
he's a
like your
lawyer.
son. We're like your son caused
And
the
then
accident,
Velasco
but
and Nancy are like,
okay.
look, we find out that he's got 3 previous DUIs, and Velasco and Muncie are like, look, we don't care about that right now. All we need to know is what happened. Do you have any information on the ambulance driver? They get the ambulance info because literally they're like, all we care about is the fact that this woman was raped and we need to figure out what happened. We don't care about your toe at the moment.
Yeah.
Then we go back to the precinct and we get this line from Bruno, and he says, in regards to the case, and he says, my gobs are smacked and my gasses are flabbered. And Finn looks right at him and says, no.
There's so many funny lines in this episode. Like
Are you having, he's
sometimes
like, are you having a stroke? Which was funny.
it's SVU be kind of funny sometimes. They have to
And the Finn
break
is like,
the
yeah,
sadness with the funny
you
words.
got it done, son. And then we transition because there's been another attack. And we get
Yeah,
Liv in her cute little bucket hat. With a cute buckle.
it's real. She puts it on more than once. Real
And then
cute.
we're talking,
We were
we
bucket
get a
hat
line
haters, but I
of
don't care.
like another woman who was attacked, but this
Yeah.
time she was divorced. And they get a conversation, like the group has a conversation about this. And they think they're trying to figure out if the guy is like married or divorced or
Mhm.
what. And Olivia says, well, unfortunately, marriage isn't always a barrier to sexual assault,
Yeah.
which unfortunately is true.
Yeah. It wasn't even a legal thing
Um,
until like 1990,
which
which isn't
is
that long ago.
disgusting, but okay.
So also rape wasn't a thing until
Um,
1990.
we find out that Emma's twin sister, the woman who was raped at the beginning of the episode, her twin sister died last year. She's worried about what her fiance is gonna think if he's gonna want to be with her after this.
Hmm.
And Olivia says if he wants to leave, if he does, he wasn't the right partner for you in the first place.
Yeah.
We then find out that the fiance blames himself.
Hmm.
Um, if he didn't, if he had proposed a few minutes later,
Yeah.
if
At a
he
different
didn't drive
place,
when
all
they
this.
did, it wouldn't have happened. And then Bruno puts this analogy of like that he took the fire test and the cop test, but the cops called first, and so he answered. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
things happen, we plan for different things, and we can't change the past type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was it seemed to work because then Josh identified the
Mm-hmm.
rapist. Um, then we have Velasco and Muncie having another conversation about Duarte with fate versus choice versus destiny, of
Yeah,
whether it
because
was
she's
fate
talking
for
about
what
she
Duarte
was like
happened,
because
was
she
it his
said
choice?
like if he she was like if he hadn't gone to Bodega to buy cigarettes, maybe he wouldn't have
Yeah,
died.
because she says Duarte quit smoking 6 months ago, and him going to the bodega got him killed. She's like, why did he go to the bodega to get cigarettes? He quit. Then we
Yeah,
get
so they kind of talk
what we think
the
is the
interrogation.
rapist. We find the guy who like was driving the ambulance. Um, and he ran. We couldn't get him. Or he's not talking. And they're talking to his sister, trying to get information. And she says a few things. She says somebody says this in
It's
regards
Finn.
to things.
It's
I think
Finn.
then it says he says useless as the salary you get with the Buffalo wins, which is hilarious. And then the sisters talking about her brother, and she says, "We're Greek. We stick together. I'm Greek. We do."
Mhm.
Um, said something about the stink, which I
They
don't
were
remember
like,
what that
he was saying
is.
something about like he was like you can smell something. I forgot the joke. Something about you could smell like I don't know if it was necessarily the seat, but it was something they had. Somebody had, I think it was Finn had like a weird feeling about whatever was going on. Like it wasn't. I don't remember what it was.
Um, I forget who
I'm
says this
listening.
line. It's a oh, Velasco says this to Muncie,
Yeah.
and he says, "Maybe you're covering everything with anger because you don't want to admit how deep the sadness goes." And it was like,
Ooh,
"Ooh,
I
ooh,
said,
that's
ooh,
good."
it's a good one, man. Velasco's got
Um,
some wisdom.
yeah. We then find out the crashes were possibly caused on purpose. There was another victim, Danielle. Um, I think she was the one divorced, and they're talking to her, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Why would she do this at the most vulnerable moment?" And Olivia says he targets the vulnerable just like every other predator on the planet. Um, then we get Olivia and Muncie talking about the USB
yeah.
from that she got on
Got
Velasco.
from Churlish. Yeah.
And Olivia says, "You think you know someone until you don't." And then she's like, "Here, you're gonna go listen to this." And
Mm-hmm.
Muncie's like, "Okay."
She
Um,
was like, if she was
then
like, if you,
Olivia and Bruno,
she was like, if you tell him that you listen to this tape, you will be. She was like getting depromoted to like
"I
the
will put
worst
you on
traffic
traffic
stop ever.
duty." And I was like,
The worst spot ever. And I was like, oh,
Olivia has
seriously,
never
stop this.
threatened to put anybody on traffic duty.
No, they've all
I
been
was like,
threatened for traffic duty, but
"Oh."
that's
They've
kind of
all
one
been
other time
traffic
somebody threatened
threatened, but Olivia has never threatened somebody
anyone else
with
for
it.
traffic duty. What a
Um,
deep person.
and
Yeah, and
then
they're having a
Olivia and Bruno
conversation.
do
Yeah,
some
it
more
goes back to the
investigating,
thing.
and then she's like, "I guess you were right about what?" And Olivia says, "Maybe we could use you around here." And then Olivia is amazed when they find out there's a light changing device to change the lights
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
stoplights. She's
Ambulance.
literally like, "Wow."
Yeah, they're in the ambulance. They can change the lights so that they can get through
Yes. And
faster
the reason we
ambulances.
find out
But
was because they
people shouldn't have those. Regular people should not have those.
yeah, they talked to like an EMT or a fire person. Um Bruno's ex-wife, because we found out he's
Hmm.
divorced, and Bruno was like, "I didn't give her enough time. I was bad. It's yeah."
Yeah, it's gross.
And Olivia's like, "Well, sometimes it's hard to make a U-turn."
Yeah,
Then they
that's a
get a
good
call.
one.
There's been
That
another
one.
attack. Unfortunately, this time it didn't go
The
well.
person is dead.
Somebody's dead. And the perp was out with a stun gun.
And the woman he tried to attack had a stun gun.
The woman who
And
tried to
she was like, I
attack.
don't know if this is
And she's
legal or
like
not.
freaking out. She's like, "I'm so
Because
sorry." And Olivia's like, "You
some
saved
places
yourself,
they're
so
not
good for
legal.
you."
That's why she was
The
like,
perp is found
they're
with a
not legal
hostage, and
everywhere.
the woman was walking her dog. We
Hmm.
find out the perp was married. Um,
Yep.
his name is Clark, and he's both sick and heartbroken because his wife was cheating on him.
Yeah.
Um,
She was.
or as Finn says, he's a wingnut.
He was doing all of this
They
because his wife
find
was.
his
He gave his.
his wife that his wife gave him the other ring, Emma's ring.
Yeah,
Um,
as a he gave her he gave his wife the ring that Emma was on.
and Muncie at one point is like, "Look, we're not marriage counselors, but you're on to something about your husband." And she's like, "It's not like you haven't lied about an affair before."
Oh, because they told her to
Because they
lie. They
basically
told her
tried
to
to
say
get
like him to let the
that
woman
she's
go. They gave him
sorry and
such
that
a
she loves him to fix
yeah,
everything.
yeah. She's like, do it.
Well, it worked. He drops his gun, they arrest him.
Hmm.
We find out that the wife was having an affair with the used car salesman who sold Clark the ambulance.
Yeah.
So that's
So plot
why
twist like
he
the
was
second one.
there in the first place.
Yeah. He was like
Emma got her ring back.
the
Olivia says
yeah.
sometimes things just work out.
Yeah.
Um, Bruno said, not Bruno, Clark says he felt so helpless he wanted the other men to feel the pain that he's feeling. Um,
Mm.
and then Olivia later is like, Bruno, you got a decision to make. And he's like, what? She's like, whether or not you want that desk. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. The dude just got here.
Nah, he's
What do you
staying.
mean he's
Bruno's
already
staying.
earned the desk?
No. Bruno's
Also,
staying.
what happened to you being so broken up about your best friend? You're already giving her desk away?
It's been like 6 weeks. It's been a little long.
I
I think she think we're
I don't
It's been
care.
like
It's
6
too
weeks.
short. That desk should never be taken again. Build a new one.
Build a new one. Resurrect this one.
Okay. Then we get Muncie
And then the
listening to the
last
tape
scene. She's in the
in
car.
the last
She's in
scene,
her car.
and Velasco freaking admits to murdering somebody.
Well, it's kind of unclear what he meant, but
What the
it,
frick? And then she walks back to you literally see her eyes go.
yeah. Because she's listening to it. She's like, oh
Um,
my god. It's not, I
and
mean, it's
Velasco's
pretty clear he meant to kill
literally like, I've
someone.
never told anybody this before, and I'm like,
And they were like,
holy crap.
oh.
She walks
They're
back
probably not
to
going to talk
Olivia
about
and
that
she's
for a
like,
while, though.
and Olivia's like, what do you think? And Muncie says he would have said anything to get that banner to flip. And then that's when Olivia was like, if you tell anybody I just let you listen to this, I will put you in traffic.
I know.
Stop. Muncie's like,
And she was like,
got it. But now we also have to wonder if Velasco actually killed somebody.
you know, we're just going to leave that plot line.
We know he has
Because that's
gang
how it happens
ties,
on these.
but we don't know if he
Exactly. That's
actually
why it's
killed
questionable.
somebody.
That's questionable. We'll find out. It probably won't be
Okay.
next. Probably the week after.
I
The week
really have to
after is
go.
the one
So
that we're
the promo.
yeah.
The promo.
Yeah, the
Finn is
one week
having like this
after next one.
20-year dedication thing because he's been in here for
Yeah,
20 years, which is awesome.
that's
Ice-T said there was
crazy.
gonna be a Finn related episode coming up, and now we're finally getting
You
it.
had forgotten
And
about it
so
until
this
right
is
literally today.
celebration for Finn, and everybody's there,
Yeah.
including Carisi. And then Finn goes home to get a beer out of his fridge, and he turns around and there's a guy standing there with a gun. He's like, "Do you remember me?" And apparently Finn arrested him years ago, and he's had a grudge ever since. And now
Yeah.
Finn's
And
basically being held hostage for an entire episode.
it is called
Fun.
it's called Dutch Tears.
All right.
What do you rate this
You
one?
talking? I'll
I was
be
playing with my hair.
talking. I just gotta change.
Yeah, I was playing with my hair the whole time. This one is like 4. I think it's a 4 on this one. It did a pretty good
I
job
give
of
it a
like
4 too.
this. It feels very back to SVU after like an arc. This feels very SVU. Like
This is
we
actually
do the
SVU
case.
related, yes.
It's very SVU, and it fit pretty good to add to the next one. I like this one. I think there's not really much to say. It felt very SVU, and it resolved itself like a good SVU case does. You know, it was nice. We already talked about because you guys are
People
wondering why
were
there's
having
not.
a conversation of like everybody was like people said like Warren was graphic. And then they got the like the actual like rape they're showing and all the
Yeah,
murder, and it's like, yeah, apparently this is
y'all need to.
way more graphic than
Yeah, it's
what we've
pretty
had
graphic on
before.
that one. There's something else I was gonna say. This okay. Also, I was gonna say this is going to get me as a hot take on this one I had in my head the other day when I was watching the trailer again. This is a good hot take. It's not gonna win me hate. We were we were talking about I was watching the way like Olivia gives Finn a hug. It's the same way she gives in the scene that like is not on the episode because they did not put it in. They did not put it in the episode in People vs. Richard Willie. But the way she hugs Finn is the same way she hugs Barben. Because they have that song, which is kind of
Ah!
a you never notice that. Go watch it again later and see it's the same way she hugs
I
Barben.
can't
It's
wait.
like I mean when you're
But I
done doing what
believe,
you're doing. When you're
she
done doing what you're
reserves that
doing.
hug for the people that she cares
The
about the
people
most.
exactly. Which is my point.
All
Which is
right, you
I'm gonna
gotta
put
keep
that
talking. I gotta go get my laundry, or you can say
we're
no.
almost
I don't really
done.
care.
I'm
I
literally
bet
gonna
you
wrap
do.
the show. Like we're literally wrapping the show. We have nothing else to talk
Okay,
about.
let's do this. I gotta go.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, we did organized crime last week because we literally could not wait any longer. So we did organized crime already. So if y'all are looking for it, go
We're
listen to that
probably gonna
episode
do it
because we
split again because that's where we're at.
yeah, it'll probably
I
split
gotta
again
go. I
because
gotta go.
okay, so just thank you all so much for listening to our show. And we will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Guys, I'm literally like laying off my bed. This is where we're at right now.
All right, this is where we leave
Bye.
it. All right,
Thanks for
goodbye.
listening.
Thanks for this.